Hey, what's up guys? It's your girl, Coach Lan, down here at AF Fitness in Plainville. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to properly engage your core. So I've been having a couple conversations with people about how their back has kind of been bothering them, and it's really comes down to a matter of, okay, we tell you that you have to use your core, you have to tighten your core, you have to engage your core, but do you know what that means? Do you know how to actually get to that point? So when we talk about engaging our core, it's like you're gonna brace your stomach for somebody to punch you. What most people think of as tightening their core is pulling their navel back into their spine. So it's what I don't want to do is like suck in and then have my rib cage kind of sticking out here. What I want to do when I engage my core is almost push out. So if we think we take in a big breath, and hold and push at the same time, that's what that active core should look like. So again, it's breathe in. That's when this is tight. So it's my stomach's almost coming forward rather than, again, when you're pulling the stomach back, you can see like the rib cage kind of starts to stick out and your stomach just kind of comes in. Activating the core almost comes from the bottom up. So another way you can think about this, it's not just pulling back, it's pulling my pelvis up, like I'm going to pull up toward my chest to try to keep it active. So when people use things like weight belts, when squatting or deadlifting or what have you, the idea is to remind you to push your stomach out. So if I put this thing on and it's tight, but what I do to try to activate my core is I actually suck it in, I come further away from this. So I've got all this space now, I can just stick my arm in there. But if I activate my core, it's tighter. I'm pushing against the belt, so it's reminding me that I want to make contact with this so that my abs are tight instead of sucked in or just loose and fluffy. Okay? Another thing that we can kind of think about, we talk a lot about being on the floor, forcing our back into the ground. It's a fantastic way to activate our abs. So if I'm here, if I'm just relaxed, there's kind of space between my back and the floor. But if I push my back into the ground and there's no space, I can feel that my abs are kind of active. And even then, my abs kind of come out a little bit. So I push, my stomach comes up a little bit because my abs are active and they flex muscles, they came out. So those are a couple things that you can kind of do to try out. You can try the breathe in and hold method. You can try the push it back into the ground so that you understand what it feels like to push your abs out as opposed to pulling in. And again, think about kind of what it feels like if you had something wrapped around you to push into it rather than pull away from it. So go ahead and give those a try. Make sure that pretty much everything we do, even in regular life, our abs always have to be active. So this is a very important thing for us to understand. So whether you're in here, you're in class and you're training, you're doing something on your own, you're picking up a file, at work, whatever it is, this still has to be active because we never want to wind up bending over. We have to make sure that, this has to be turned on so we can turn this off. We don't want to wind up using our back instead. So go ahead and give that a shot. If you still don't really understand or if you have a question about any one of these methods, go ahead and ask any one of your coaches and we'll help you figure out how to activate your core. We'll see you guys later.